has everything.
Bumping and banging.
Big boy in the neighborhood. All righty. Tory Lanez is in the neighborhood. He came in with all this gold on, man. I thought for sure, I was like, man, for sure he was bringing in something for us. But I guess those, you work for him, so I guess those are yours. You know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead and take mine off, Jack, because I hit him with this when we came in. I was like, bam.
What you got over there?
Come on now, fella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me just go ahead and throw this on while he here so you understand what this chain and day is that I'm doing over
really
here.
important.
That's
You
access
got the
right
keys
there.
to the building.
You said it, brother. You know what I'm saying? This is a man with
really
vision.
important.
Hey, man, I just had this conversation a couple of days ago, right? Now, I'm sitting in a restaurant spot, and, you know, they taking care of me.
Yeah.
And I'm tripping because, same as you had homelessness in your life, too.
Of course.
I always say I'm homeless to homeowner. I was homeless. Now, when I was homeless, man, nobody give me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now that I go in, and I could
It's so
afford that
true.
little patty or something, I think like, oh, big, take it.
Yeah, get it for free. Nah, it's true.
Yeah,
It's
man.
definitely true. When you broke or when you don't got it, like you can't get nothing for free. And then
Hell
when you
no.
don't need it, and you can get it for free.
And Tory, I'm telling you, brother, I take it. Man, they be like, man,
Oh, no, I'm definitely taking
all right,
it. Nah,
yeah.
yeah,
And let me
definitely.
get this to go. And I don't even eat tiramisu. I was like, give me
we
tiramisu.
we definitely
Give me
take
all
it
this,
for
man.
all of the times that we never had it.
Hey, man, it's crazy how Tory Lanez, where you are today, man. It's like there's an introduction.
Yeah.
And people would think, man, oh, man, like overnights and sex. Those are long-ass nights, bro.
Very, very,
Just from the times that we've been just hearing the name just kind of floating around.
Yeah.
Is it crazy now that with all the hard work with being Tory Lanez and getting to where you are now, man, is it crazy that there is so-called an arrival where it's like, okay, man, now, you know, people are bearing witness?
I think the thing is like, you know, there's a lot of people that were core fans beforehand, like years ago when I was putting out mixtapes and stuff like that. And then there's a lot of fans that, you know, got on with the Say It and the Love and
Right.
the radio records and like the newer music that came out during those times. And I think a part of it is just like a kind of you know, an alliance or a collide between both of those people. And that's kind of what creates that, like, you know, is he new or is he old type of situation?
But just the whole grind of it too, man. Do you ever get with all the years? Was there ever any frustration? Because you get on and people know who you are. Yeah. But do you ever feel like man, this path is a?
I mean, of course, I've especially for me, like being signed twice in 2 different times. This being the second time, like I'm the artist. I went through the, you know, kind of like you get dropped. Or you kind of just you leave a label and then you just don't know what to do at that point because there's no other situation. Like, and I've been there when I've just had to be independent and I had to figure out, you know, what was gonna happen, and you know, it's not an easy route. But
do you ever feel like, man, was there ever any time like, man, I think I'm done?
Nah.
Okay.
I always knew that there was a reasoning behind.
See, I'm a quitter. I'm gonna tell you straight up, Tory, if it ain't popping off, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, maybe this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah. Me, I was just like, you know, my situation was like, I always knew I was supposed to be, you know, somewhere big. I just felt like the trials and tribulations were a part of it, and I always knew, like, no matter how hard it was, I knew it was God's plan. You know, like, 'cause I know I'm ordained to be here.
Yeah. Hey, man, and you know what's crazy about that? Like, do you have that vision even when you were younger that like,
I thought I was going to be a preacher.
Really though?
My dad is a missionary preacher.
Ooh. How far away from you are you from preaching now though? I mean there's preaching in the music, but
not far technically because the music is prophetic.
Exactly.
You know, the music is definitely prophetic. There's things that I've said in the music years ago that I see come past today. You know, and I'm a firm believer of speaking things into existence.
Same here, brother.
I'm a firm believer of, you know, you work and the universe gives back to you. I'm a firm believer in that stuff. You feel me? In the law of attraction, of course, and God as well. But I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction and you know, the way things come to
maybe you building up everything for your sermons in the future though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
just got to live through a whole lot of wildness, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So
that way when you up there, they were like, man, he did what? Like, hey, but I made it through it. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I always kind of think of it like that, you know, because, like, you know, my real name is Daystar.
Yes, sir.
And what my real name actually means is a revolutionary light of progression to my generation. But I always wanted to use my real name as, like, you know, my music, but I kind of felt like until I'm at a certain level where I'm making that kind of music and it's just on a positive level, I don't want to use that name yet.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like right now is the time, like you just said, I'm supposed to be in all the dark.
Yeah, man.
To kind of bring everybody out the dark and be that, revolutionary.
Tory, I just wanted to know, you were talking about your real name being Daystar. How did the nickname Tory come from?
Well, Tory actually came from Notorious. Yeah.
We all playing like we didn't know.
I kind of didn't know that.
I wanted to call myself Notorious when I was younger. But the kids on my block, they just called me Tory. They took the Tory out of Notorious.
And that's obviously for Notorious, B.I.G.
Yeah, so technically, like, my name means Notorious Lanez.
I love it.
If you ever had the opportunity, if you could have had the opportunity to sit down with Biggie, what do you think you would have asked him?
How you rapping like that? I've been like that. I've been like, yo, how you like what is your because every rapper in a weird way has a trick to their cadence. It's only something that they can explain to you. There's plenty things that I could explain to another artist or another rapper if they ask me about any certain cadence or how I came up with the cadence, but only I could explain it to them in my own words. So I would.
Was that an influence for you? It had to be.
Of course.
Really though. Now, and it's crazy, man, because of course I had the pleasure of knowing Pac and Biggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how a lot of cats, it lives. That's why I say it's great catalogs. You know what I'm saying? It's like you left great catalogs and you left like really, man, like learning tools and instruments and for people like the Tory Lanez and the cats that's behind you. And what you're doing right now is influencing the next person, where they sit up and say, you know what I'm saying, where you're influencing them as well, man. Music wise, are you know how some cats get frustrated with the business now? Like, how are you as far as when it comes to like, man, I'm here, but if I could just make the music and leave this part alone, does the music business kind of get in the way sometimes?
Not with me. I'm a businessman.
I heard that.
I love the business.
But at one point, you had to do a lot by yourself too, though. So you understand that.
And I think at that point was what made me, the type of man that I am today. That's what made me understand, the what to do's and the what nots. Don't have the homeboy manager and have solid management. There's just
you learned that
things,
early then, huh?
Yeah, it's certain things that I learned very early, and because of that, it's like I think.
Let me tell you one too. Don't invest in any restaurants. Ask me why when we get off the air. But just take it from your big homie, man. Don't invest in any restaurants and everything, bro.
But yeah,
you don't even know what to say.
I'm like, okay.
The album is called "I Told You."
I told you.
Alrighty,
August
now
19th.
Must be feel good. It must feel good when you can say "I told you."
Definitely.
What does that title mean?
Exactly that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the feeling of I told you.
Right.
That's kind of how I felt about my music for years. I felt like my music is. It may have not been the greatest, but it was at a level that was higher than a lot of people. At least the quality of music that a lot of people were putting out, all throughout the times that I've been putting out music, match the times that they've been putting out music.
Right.
And so I've always kind of felt like, one day somebody has to see this, and for all the people that I told and they just doubted me and like time after time when I'm sitting there and I'm just like, yo, please just believe me. And everyone just looked at me and just like, I don't see it. And no matter what, I would explain to them, yo, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this like this. And even, despite the times when I was homeless and I was sleeping in the back of cars and trying to figure it out and telling people, like, just listen to what I have. You know what I mean? I'm thugging it out, going to the studio every single night, sleeping in my car. Not even my car, just somebody's car. Like,
how long were you homeless, Tory?
I was homeless
several times, yeah.
Yeah, several times. 2 different times in my life. The first time I was homeless for like 2 months. Second time I was homeless for like not long, like 2-3 weeks.
Man, those are long ass days.
When
and nights,
when you don't have nowhere to go, those nights and those days are longer than anything.
And so when you say I told you, it's not like, man, like it's like, man, like, yeah.
It's like I
told you.
like I told you guys. Like this is really like, I want you to know I told you that I would be here. I told you that one day before they try to sweep up albums and before they try to sweep up CD real physical sales, I will have something on the shelf. I told you.
Damn, how good does that feel though? And not
great.
that you do it for them, because you do it for you.
Do it for you.
You know what I'm saying? But if you can knock down
the party,
all
he does it for them.
Yeah. He thought about it too. Like, nah, big, nah, some of this shit was for them. Yeah.
Because it's like it's not it's not that you prove what you have to prove to yourself for them. You do that for yourself,
right.
But you also do have something to prove to them as well.
I always
because
tell
they
cats,
doubted you.
I say, man, proving me right at the same point, I'm proving you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in me. You know, and it's crazy because even when you get on tour, you say, man, and you know how you're like, oh man, I'm signed here or this is about to happen, and then certain things don't happen. You get people that also count your failures. Like, man, I thought that was going, it didn't go for you. I thought, you know what I'm saying? So you even get to a point you stop telling people what your plans are.
That's true.
You know,
I think I've experienced that a lot of times, just being in places where, like, you know, I've had a lot of. You were down when you thought something was hot and then it didn't pop, and then instead of like recouping back with us and believing like, all right, let's come up with the next plan, it's just a fall off. So I've had to deal with so many people falling on and off the trail and the track, and so I told you is to them too. It's like
somebody at work right now,
like all y'all people that were close to me that I told y'all
somebody that you
mean?
know is at work right now listening to this interview saying, damn. He told us. You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
it's probably more than we think. Listening to this,
man. Well, you here now, brother.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at you. And you know, when you plant your feet down, it's hard to knock somebody off, Jack.
Turning down the freshman class for XXL, was there anyone around you that really tried to convince you that you were making the wrong decision, turning them down?
No, I wouldn't say like that was like on me to the point where it was like a thing. Like, yo, no, you should take it, because I think, you know, my reasoning for it was, it was justifiable. It was a lot of years that, you know, I was out and they knew me, and I've had the meeting, you know what I'm saying, where they flew me, or we flew ourselves out for the meeting, you know, multiple times, and they made it always kind of seem like it was like, oh, this time? So this time, I was like, listen.
Like, I'm good now.
It's not even one of those situations where it was a cocky. Everyone thinks I did it on some cocky.
Right.
Nah, it just didn't. It didn't seem like the situation fit for me in the moment. And you know, looking back at the cover, it wasn't the situation for me. You know, because it just was. That's not where I was at.
And then plus, man, and no disrespect to anything, but sometimes, man, you'll get that label. You know, that you can never shake off for the rest of your career, like XXL either or pick any print. They found you, or anytime it's an introduction, it's like, you know, voted from the freshman class of XXL. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta watch, you gotta really watch your introductions.
There's
too,
a lot
bro.
of things that I did differently, just as far as, you know, my career and just my introduction, specifically just because I didn't want to do it like other people. Like,
right.
Of course, like the freshman situation as well, and even like down to the album, like down to I Told You. There's no features on my first album. There's no features at all, because I wanted people to take me for me. I didn't want you to say, yo, this is hot because of that.
Such
or
and such
this
is
was,
on there.
A great thing because this was here and this was it.
Or somebody even pushed. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
I wanted it to be a thing where it's like, I told you.
And plus, when you do a album without all features, then we get it changed. Because sometimes, man, you get these albums that got features. You waiting for somebody to come from behind the curtain. Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Every time you see him live, it's like, man, it's such and such coming out. Then you're like, oh, this mo, he ain't coming out.
Nah, I know what you mean, but nah, this for me, it was deeper. It was more of a situation like people have to hear me do this,
right?
You know, for all of the times when, you know, they probably thought somebody else was on my record or thought I wasn't singing that note, or, you know, this has to be from me to you.
I love it. I got a chance to listen to the interactive album yesterday, and just congratulations. I told you it was a great body of work. I really, really enjoyed it from beginning to end. And I was just thinking, like, if these are all the songs that made it on the project, like, what didn't make it that you're just like, that one that I wish
there's a lot
that
of
just
fire.
got on.
There's a lot of fire.
You want me to bootleg anything?
Honestly, you know what I'm saying? I might.
I got a heavy Japan influence. I got a heavy Japan influence, brother. You know what I mean? Like, wait, how did he get it? Oh man, Big is wrong.
Yeah, there's definitely some fire. Like there was some fire on the on the, you know, the album takes that we were gonna have that didn't make it, but at the same time, that's all part of the process of picking the best quality of songs. When you say interactive, you're talking about that. Was it that website?
On the website, they had to give the password.
Yeah,
Fargo.
We have this website pretty much like where like you can preview the album.
Can't you just
and
hand
you
it to
walk
us?
in
It's
and
really
it's like,
cool.
nah, it's like this interactive room, and then they come out and they ask you the password, and they're like, "Yo, you here for Tory?" And then you got to put in the password.
You got to say.
I said the password. I was like,
Yeah, you
Fargo.
can speak it or you can speak it or type it in.
Jesus Christ.
And then they open
so
the
cool.
door and then it lets you preview my album.
Makes you feel very special.
Right.
Very special at home.
But you know what's dope about that too is that people take the time to do so as
It's
well.
fun. It's a fun
and
thing.
it's an experience. Though.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's called the I Told You experience.
That's dope, bro.
I want to say that's IToldYouExperience.com, but I'm not 100% certain.
Well, Louis will find it.
Got you,
Get
bro.
off that sex spot. And
Come
go look.
on.
And go look for it. Get off man to man and go and look at this. Gotta excuse him. Man. He don't even be a part of the interview. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you're going to hear him go, ooh, ho! You know what's going down. Anything else?
Do you have a favorite track that did make it? Like, is there
That
one
did?
that, right, one that you're just like, yeah, that's probably like my favorite one?
I don't know if my favorite, but I'm happy that exclusively in Target, there's like a deluxe version of the album where there's a record called Come Back to Me, and that's like one of my favorite records that made the tape, but it's only exclusively sold in Targets.
Well, now we
And
know.
you
Was that
used
in the
to-
interactive? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Hearing
You used to
that.
work
Oh,
at
come
Target,
on.
right?
No, I
You know
never
how
worked.
cats no to your
I did Walmart. I did Walmart.
I didn't even know that. But you know how cats be trying to put stuff on because you worked
back.
at Target. No, big, I didn't work at Target.
Nah,
now tell
just
me about when
Walmart,
you
mad
worked at the
places.
31 flavors. You know what I'm saying? And like, man, he was all wrong in there.
You moved around, or from what I've read, you moved around a lot your entire life.
Yeah.
Where do you feel most at home, though?
Toronto.
How come?
Probably is that home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you feel at home? At home,
Well,
We run Toronto in our jogging pants, man.
man. What's in the Canadian water, man? Do
I
I need
don't
to
know.
send my son up to
it's-
Canada?
It's like you know what it is that Canada is such a multicultural place.
Yes, sir.
And it's like the melting pot of culture. So when we grow up, we grow up with, like, I'm black. I'm like, my best friend might be an Asian kid or an Indian kid. So, when I'm growing up, I'm still listening to the culture of music that they listen to when they're growing up. So, music is a subconscious, it's like a thing that happens in your subconscious. You
Right.
know, you hear a song, you subconsciously sing the song when you're recording. When you're making music, that song is somewhere stuck in your mind that you may have influences from that song. That's what music is. So we get the influences from the cultures that I feel like, we grow up just around.
Right.
So when we go to the drawing board of making music, I think we go to it with a little bit of a different touch
Worldwide,
because-
universal. Like,
Yeah, it feels.
so it's not in the world. Because I was gonna just send my daughter. She got something. I was wondering, do I need to send her to Canada so she can make it? Because y'all not just making
might hear
it.
some really good music. out
Yeah,
there.
you. Is there anything? Do you feel like what's the next? Do you feel is there somebody bubbling in Canada? As you like, man? Because at one point you hear cats saying, "Man, look out for such and such. Look out for Weeknd. Look," and then you're like, "Oh, okay."
Nah, I mean, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids just in the city. I'm trying to just name everybody off top. There's a lot of kids. It's like you got Big Lean, you got Syfe, you got Robin Banks, you got Pressure, you got the kid from Halal Gang. I think his name's Smoke Dog or something like that. There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of new kids
man.
coming up making music.
Now watch a year from now. We play this back. Be like, man,
yeah.
that's the little homie he was talking about. I'm gonna go find one of these cats and definitely put some bread on them too, bro.
Yeah, nah, man. Toronto's got a lot of talents, and I'm just naming a few people off the top, but that's just the cream of, that's not even the cream of the crop. It's so many people that are making good music that are coming out of Toronto that, haven't been heard yet and stuff of that nature,
Is it crazy to think that like now you're influencing like the new generation of Toronto, like thinking like, yo, like I want to be like Tory Lanez. Like, what piece of advice could you offer somebody trying to make it out?
I don't even give
Toronto?
advice when I'm still doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got to make it to where I am first and get on that. Then like, hey, man, you probably, yeah.
Honestly, the only thing I can really say, because it's just kind of like you said, I'm not in a, certain position to be like, you got to do this to be Jay-Z.
Right.
I'm not, But the only thing I could say is just quality over quantity. I think the quality of everything you do, more should go into the quality of it than the quantity. Quantity. It shouldn't be a situation where, you care more about putting so much videos out that you don't care about what goes into each visual. And vice versa with the music and things of that nature. Anything that has to do with your brand, I think it should just be a quality over quantity thing, but stay consistent with quality. Stay consistent with undeniable stuff and undeniable material.
With an album like I told you, with no features.
Yeah.
if you were to say, you know what, I want to do a feature with one or two people, is there anybody in mind that you would say, man, you know, this is the next one?
I probably would have worked with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe Kanye.
Go ahead now.
Easy.
Something like that.
If you could only pick one.
Oh.
I think just for the city, I would have to work with The Weeknd first.
Go ahead now.
Just to work with him first. You know?
So watch us start something. So you don't like Kanye? So what are you saying about Kanye, man? Oh man, y'all heard it here first. The beat started right here in the neighborhood, man.
Damn,
here we go, man. Exclusive. We here now. This is what we hear the story. I want the real story. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to elaborate or anything, man. But and I gotta go here because I gotta put the blinker on and swerve into the Drake lane right now. Where is that conversation? Where are you guys at, or you on your own? Like, pshung?
I'm just worried about me and myself right now. I'm worried about I told you August 19th. I'm not worried about any of the you know, the things that I think the media is trying to make it. You know, because at the start, I think, you know, it was just a little whatever the case is. I think the media
and nothing's bigger than your music.
Nothing's bigger than the music. The only thing that should be paid attention to is the music. You know, we can come here and we can make 20 stories and talk about this subject 25 times, 30 times. You know, it's just gonna create another headline that I think stirs us away from not looking at the music.
Right.
And the main important thing is the music. So August 19th, I told you.
And you know what? Radio, the world, social media, everything is big enough for everybody.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's even crazy because I knew you were coming in and I was like, man, everybody goes there. And I do my interviews without having to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I know that somebody was probably listening like, oh, man, you didn't, you know. But my thing is I don't need to lay on it.
I mean,
and we here to celebrate you.
Secretly, everybody kind of like scrolls through my interviews and looks for looks for any beef or any highlight of like anything I'll say.
I can tell you straight up, I know I haven't.
You know what it is?
That's
you know what it is about me? I'm a very bold guy. Very confident in myself.
As you should be.
I believe in myself wholeheartedly, and I believe that I can do all things, you know, through me and of course through Christ. So me, I have no limitation in my head. Because I have no limitation in my head, it causes me to say things sometimes that are just so, I don't know if I want to bear with what he said. The things I say are so bold that they cause you to feel something. People don't necessarily like to just feel out of nowhere. You don't necessarily want to go, oh, I hate that. You know, you don't necessarily want to feel that way. But sometimes when someone says a statement so bold, like, for instance, I go everywhere I can ever go and say to people, I'm going to be the biggest artist in the world, and there's nothing that's going to stop that. And
you said that.
I'm saying it right now. Right. I'm going to be the biggest artist in the world, and nothing is going to stop me unless I die. Nothing is going to stop me. And I don't see anybody, you know, trying to kill me. So I know for a fact I'm going to be the biggest artist in the world.
And that would rub someone you think the wrong way.
Sometimes people hear things like that and they go, who does this kid think he is?
You know what? Like people can say, is it cocky? Is it confidence?
That's what it is, and then it gets misconstrued as cockiness. People like I might say this: I make the best music,
right?
I'm people say, well, you think you're better than I'm better than everybody, and then people go, you're arrogant because for you to say that you're better than you know this and that and third, but what people.
But are you supposed? Do we expect people to come and say, "Man, I told you"? You know, my album's sorry.
No, you know, I think that's
mediocre.
I think that,
and especially if you believe it too, though.
I just feel like in music has gotten to a place where, well, at least in urban music and hip hop and things like that, it's gotten to a place where everybody is supposed to be friends with everybody, and everyone is supposed to.
Right.
We're in it together. Let's make 10 songs together. I'm in it to smash y'all.
Go ahead now.
I'm in it to smash everybody. And that's because the music, that's all I care about. This is my life. There's nothing that's more important to me than the music. There's nothing that's more important to me than this. If without this, I might as well go work at Walmart again because there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing that I can do at this point. So it's like, why not? Why am I not going to take this more seriously than anybody? Because y'all don't care about the music. Y'all have things y'all could fall back on. Y'all probably feel like, I got chosen by music mistakenly, or, I randomly got here. It was a lucky chance that I got into music. I got that one record. No, that's not my story. My story is I came here to be the greatest, to be legendary, to leave a legacy that was so strong that people were like, I don't know if I'll ever meet that standard. That's what I came here to do. And because of that, the way I go about, decreeing and declaring, and taking dominion over certain things and saying certain things ahead of time. Because I say these things ahead of time, because I know in my head, but because I say them ahead of time, it rubs you the wrong way. Or it might rub you the wrong way, or it might not. But in most cases, it rubs you the wrong way, because you're like, you are not in a position right now, young man, to be saying the things that you're saying about yourself, because you're not there yet. Humble yourself. They don't realize I'm very humble. I'm just decreeing and declaring what's going to happen, so I could come on a time like August 19th and say, I told you.
You one of them crowd walking cats as well. But you got a body for crowd walking though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be crowd walking if you're 285 pounds or something like that. How much you weigh, Tory?
I weigh 139.
Okay, yeah, so we can support you.
Perfect body.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be crowd walking to no lawsuit.
With you, like, there's a lot of people that I feel like getting credit for this whole like crowd walking, crowd surfing thing. Like, I want to be clear on something. Tory Lanez,
go ahead now, speak it,
was always the wildest. Like, people, no. Because
this ain't new.
This is not a new thing. Like, I want people to really go back like 2-3 years and just keep going and seeing the levels of evolution that when it comes to crowd, because that's my area. Damn. Like, when it comes to crowd walking and turning the venue into a jungle gym, like I do something every single show that I'm sure at one point somebody in the crowd believes, or everybody in the crowd believes, that I'm going to lose my life. At some point in the show, at some point, I don't know what point it will be, but at some point in the show, somebody thinks I'm going to lose my life doing something that has nothing to do with the stage. That's just me. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people get credited for coming out in the crowd, and maybe crowds walking in one spot, or like, I stay in crowd walking on top of people for whole sets, long songs. Like, when we're moshing and wilding out, but that's.
Have you ever hurt yourself?
Nah. That's the crazy thing. I never hurt myself.
Hopefully I didn't put nothing in the universe.
Right, he
You call me next week like big, man. I was cool till you asked me that dumbass question. But you know what? But that's like a whole different kind of fearlessness, if that's a word.
No, definitely.
I couldn't,
It's the adrenaline. It's the adrenaline. Like, there's this thing
because I'm cool like this. I be like, man, I'm going to stay right here.
There's a thing I do, and it's the only thing that kind of actually scares me when I actually like perform, and I can actually get out of the adrenaline and realize this is kind of scary. Is, how like when you go to those big shows, they have the bars you can climb up on. You've seen some people climb up on those bars. I'll climb up to like probably like not the top, but like a little bit higher than mid-level. And I put my legs in it and I hang off.
No.
You feel me?
Like, you talking about like the little, like the silver, like the chrome, like the steel beam
like
stuff?
It's called trussing, I think. Yeah,
and I'll hang off of those. You feel me? And that's the only thing when I look back and I'm like upside down. That's the only thing that makes me think like.
But you healthy too, because you got to actually know how to pull your body back up.
Oh my god!
I hang back like that. It's a wrap.
That's an
you know what I'm saying?
Right there. Goodness.
It's gonna be like ladders. They got to have a They gonna be like, man, he's serious. He didn't do it next time. Look like an old Far Side Pass Me By video. I'm just be hanging upside down. Yeah, man. Like, when I see cats with energy like that, I'm like, man, nah, brother. I'm safe and sound on the ground, Jack. Like, hell, and you haven't bust your ass or nothing?
Nah.
I heard that.
Have you ever gone like bungee jumping, skydiving, anything like that yet?
He doing that damn near?
Wait, hell no, but you
What you talking about?
Yes, what?
Hey, dude, he made it seem like that. Oh, hell no, hell.
Bungee jumping and skydiving?
Oh, my bad.
I don't
Hanging
like
off
the
backwards on the beam.
But see, I don't like the feeling of falling. I don't even like being on the plane when it go like this.
But Tory,
when the plane start going like this,
you trusting people to put their hands under your shoes.
But we 5 feet away from the ground though.
But you know what, man? Yeah, it could be one person out there just I hate this motherfucker.
No, but see that's the thing.
Bastard!
But see, don't get me wrong. That happens.
No.
And then there's people that grab you out of love
because
too.
You got to remember, there's the guy. This is the thing. There's the guys and girls, and the girls. I mean, the guys are over here like, push him up, dude, push him up.
The girls are trying to touch,
and the girls are like, oh my gosh, he's.
He's right here.
Come down here now, like they're like, I can't even really cross her sometimes because sometimes I'm trying to walk on like the fence and like I'm trying to walk and they pulling my foot, pulling me down. So it'd be like times where like the only other thing I kind of go through where it's like I could get hurt is like sometimes like fans will pull my leg one way and fans will pull my leg the other way.
You gonna split.
And I'm just.
But they help you back to the stage and all
crazy,
that though.
Yeah. But it's something you gotta learn. You gotta learn how to maneuver to make them do that type of stuff. You know, I've just been doing it for so long.
You know what I love? How cats grabbing on. You know, sometimes you got to grab a head too. You know what I'm saying?
Keep your neck still.
Sorry about that. Because it's not like you're just walking on cement.
I done pushed off a couple people.
Oh my God, you touched my head. Oh my God. Like, man, I ain't mad at you on that one, bro. But yeah, you got to keep your weight right for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect, because Rick Ross is my partner. Rick Ross ain't doing no crowd walk.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? It's just some cats like Fat Joe, that's my partner, but he ain't going all the way up on your hands. Yeah, you keep that safe and sound on the ground. You know, I used to weigh 500 pounds.
Imagine.
Oh my God. Can you imagine how many listeners I would have killed? You know what I'm saying?
Help me.
All right. You look like ketchup packages. And I kind of want to get us all together and have a crowd walk on us.
I think we should.
If we can get enough people in here,
I think we have enough people
we can pull off a crowd walk in here, man.
Just 2 steps.
Yeah. We can pull. If we get everybody in here, we'll pull it off.
Dominic did cheerleading.
Yeah, and you did the cheerleading.
I was a cheerleader. I picked the girls up. I can definitely pick you up. We can do this.
Easy call, man. We have anybody ever walked on an entire morning show at a radio station?
Exactly. Have you?
There it is right there, man. That's what we do, brother.
Hey.
That's what we do. Go ahead, little queen. Hello.
Track 6 on I Told You, Friends with Benefits.
Uh-oh.
I think it's something that's so common right now. And obviously this is a story of your life. Did you have one? Did it work out? What didn't work out? Talk about it.
Or are you just writing?
Friend with benefits? Mm-hmm. Lots of friends with benefits.
Go ahead now. I gotta.
You know, I think we all have friends with benefits. A friend with benefits is just someone that technically y'all are just
fucking.
Oh, okay.
You know,
y'all are just fucking. You know, I didn't know if this was like we was like live on the air.
So you're good.
Like, nah, but like that's all it really is. But for that specific song on the album, it actually serves a different purpose because the album is like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep telling people this like that. Like when you play the album from track 1 straight through to, track 14, track 15 or whatever it is, it plays like a movie. And that part of the movie is I'm trying to get back to, my girl's house or whatever the case is. We just came from like a robbery. It was crazy. Somebody shot a bullet through the windshield that shot my man in the shoulder. I just came from dropping him off and I'm trying to get back to my girl's house through all of this madness. And kind of lay low back at her spot. So that whole song was just kind of like more of a situation of like, I'm on my way to you kind of situation. But it's not like I'm on my way to like my real girl. It's just to my friend with benefits.
Right. Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Just you and the music, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Heard that, brother. Man, now what's happening with the tour? When does the I Told You tour start? Because you're always on the road anyway.
Yeah,
but when is the title of
the title of I Told You? That tour starts on the 4th of September.
Oh, so y'all really gone? You gone?
We made in America in September,
nice.
And then from there on, we just start going for 76 cities. Plus, we added more in America alone, and then we're doing Canada and Europe after that.
Really dope. Do you like to? You gotta like to travel, some right? You like traveling?
I mean, in America, yeah, because I have the tour bus, so I can like record on the road.
Right.
If I couldn't record, this would just be brutal.
What about out of the country? Do you like to go?
I mean, I could record out of the country too.
I'm just talking about like performing wise, or just being there and walking on tour.
I love London.
Yeah,
I love London. I love Paris, Amsterdam, Scandinavia is great.
Well, I haven't been there, so I can lie and say I have.
All these places, these were the first times I went to these places, and I randomly had fans in all of these places.
Isn't that crazy what music is, though?
It's crazy. When I go over there, that's what makes me really realize like how much the music is really.
Are you
effective.
beyond like they know me here? Are you beyond that yet? Like, man, they know me here.
Yeah, no,
Right, right.
He's like, wait, yeah, no.
I'm not beyond it yet because when it gets bigger every year that I go there. I've only went there twice, but from the first time to the second time, like it was like we were playing smaller venues the first time. The second time we were playing, big venues.
Like
and
people are really
out.
coming to see.
Yeah, and like selling them out, like and it was like venues where it's like I'm not that big of an act in America, so it's like why is it so big over here, But over there, the music is appreciated more.
Man, I was about to say I was gonna let you finish what you was. I was gonna say the same words, bro.
The music is way more appreciated in overseas because I guess maybe it's the factor of like we don't see you guys all the time. But I also think it's just I don't know what it is. They just have a love and a genuine
And it don't be singles.
sincerity about.
You know what I'm
music.
saying?
Yeah.
Like they know the
They know
albums
the
and
other shit.
Yeah, man, and they know exactly like even if it's something bootleg or import or internet, whatever it is, but it's a whole different. And they come out to see you, and they really have fun with you.
Yeah.
And you'll look around, and sometimes you'll do a show, and you're like, man, it could be. Tory Lanez, and it could be somebody you'll never do a show with in the States. And I'm not even talking about festivals, but it's just the melting pot of music that they appreciate over
And they
here.
love it.
Yeah. And they still hold on to certain things like know who a producer is or know who is, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll blow your mind.
Yeah, and they'll never let it go either. Some things that go out of style in America so quick don't go out of style.
Yeah, man.
Like once it's hot forever.
Don't I know it, man? It's sometimes we'll do somebody on the morning show, and by the time the night show happened, they already out the business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, man,
They got dropped by a
we did a show this morning. They dropped him already. Like, damn, like he out the business.
You sent out a tweet where you said that this album was a direct reflection of your coldest nights, your hottest days, and those most life-changing moments. Can you share one of those life-changing moments with us?
It'd be dope if you like, nah.
I wanna say-
Wouldn't it be dope if you like,
No,
I was just tweeting.
nah, honestly, in a weird way, I would have to kind of actually say that, but not in that way. Just meaning like, I kind of want you to listen to the album so that you can go through it. Because for you to understand why it's such a low, you have to go through the whole experience. So yeah, I would just advise everybody to just get the album and go through the hardships with me. Because I take you through them very vividly, and you'll be able to pretty much picture exactly that answer.
And have you made any of the calls yet to anyone who's pre-ordered the album?
I've been calling
FaceTime.
people.
Wow.
So
because you put out there that you were going to personally call people.
I was, and I have.
Did you ever think like, damn, like why did I do that?
No,
But you been
because
calling?
It was something that I used to do back in the days with my fans, like before, like I was even signed to Interscope this time and stuff. And I used to call them just like on some like, do I have real fans? But
Right.
I knew I had real fans at the time. But I still used to call them people just to see like how they would react to their favorite artist hitting
That's
them up or
dope.
something like that, But now we just did it this time to show like I wanted to see who actually had the pre-orders and thank them personally.
And have you called and contacted anyone? Like, has anyone picked up?
No, we've been called.
Started.
It's on
Because
like,
now everybody's sending you the voicemail. Nobody picking up their phones. You know what I'm saying?
we have a like a video of us doing it too. We went through like
Periscope?
it was
You
like
were
a
doing it?
Periscope. Yeah, we was doing it on Periscope.
Oh.
And even after that, like sometimes I'd just be bored and I'd be like, all right, let's start calling people. And we'll
Man,
call, like,
where's the numbers at? Let's call one right now.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
We should.
I need my
What? What you need?
I need my phone. Is my somebody
Bring his phone and his credit card in
call
here.
Ray in there.
Yeah, bring. Can y'all bring Tory Lanez's phone and his credit card in so we can order
I need to
breakfast?
hold on.
Bring
Yeah.
Ray.
Bring the black
Ray.
one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what we're gonna do right now, man, is that we're gonna call one of the numbers here.
Okay.
And I guarantee you that this person is gonna spend the first 10, 15, 20 seconds saying, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Money on
no,
it.
it's not. We're saying something. Say something. What's going on? All righty, so let's try this one right here. I don't want to say the number out loud on the air.
I don't know. They might know my voice.
All right, hold on. Oh, I'm about to say the number. My dumb ass. Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, who is this?
Hi, how you doing? I was calling. Did you pre-order Tory Lanez, I Told You album?
Yes.
All right, and your name is?
Nicole.
Nicole, how you doing, Nicole? You know that Tory had sent out a tweet where he was saying he was going to call some of his fans and thank them for actually pre-ordering the album. Did you know that?
Yes.
Right. Well, Tory is here and he wanted to just say hello. Can he say hello to you real quick?
Yes, hold on.
All righty. No, you hold on, motherfucker. You hold on.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? Hey.
What's up? Thank you for copping the pre-order. I appreciate you, baby.
Thank you for calling me. This is amazing. Oh my God.
Only happens on Big Boy.
Yeah, and this is Big Boy. You're live on the radio right now.
No.
Yeah, thank you. I noticed y'all did scream more for me, so it's not only Big Boy. I got Tory Lanez here too. Give Tory some of that love as well. Now, you ladies, are y'all Tory Lanez fans?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So let me ask you this: when he said that he was going to call some of his fans, and if you did pre-order the album, did you think that he was really going to reach out and start calling people?
I really didn't think he was going to call me. I was like, I'm going to just put my number anyways.
Now, who's there with you?
My best friend Emily's here with me.
Hello. Hey, shout out to Emily.
Hello there, Emily. So before we wrap up with Tory Lanez, is there anything that you want to say to Tory before we call the next person?
I just want to say shout out to your new album. It's amazing and we love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Keep doing awesome things.
I appreciate you.
Yes, stay hot.
Y'all too.
Now let me ask you this. Should we continue to call people or should we stop with you ladies?
You should definitely continue to
Oh, they're not selfish.
Man, have you ever received a call like this from any other artist?
I haven't. This is my first call. This is awesome.
Let me tell you, you'll never get another one because artists don't do this.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh my God. Well, thank you. This is, oh my gosh. My day is made.
Thank y'all.
Let me ask you something real quick. Now, what was your name again, hun?
Nicole.
Nicole. Now, Nicole, you're on a raft. You're in the middle of the ocean. All righty, listen to this.
I'm on a raft in the middle of the ocean.
You're on a raft in the middle of the ocean, all right? You look in the ocean and you see two people floating. You can only pull one person
I
up.
already know where this is going.
You look in the ocean, you see Tory Lanez, and you see Big Boy. Who do you pull up and who do you let drown?
Why? Why do I have to pick?
You got to pick one of us. You can only pull one of us up.
Put me on the spot like this. I mean,
We're in the water.
Come on.
The sharks are coming.
The sharks are coming.
Yeah, so who do you pull up, me or Tory Lanez? Big Boy or Tory Lanez?
I gotta save Tory.
Bye. All right, well, thank you so much, Tory, for coming into the neighborhood, man. Yeah, that's always good. Oh man, it's always good to call up our fans. She didn't even take into consideration that I have kids. You know what I'm saying? Man, Tory Lanez, thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man, and hanging out with us. I got one more question, man, and please don't take this as disrespect. Can I have that pinky ring?
Oh, I got 10 of these. Here you go.
Stop it, man.
Get out of here.
I want the only one. Really though, man? Come on, man.
Just because I love you, Big Boy.
Thank you. There it is, man. Thank you so much, man. You know what, man? I can't take this. I just wanted to see if you would give it to me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Man, I told you he was going to give me that.
What did I
Definitely that. No, I told you. Available for you right now, man. Tory Lanez, once again, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us, my brother. Tory Lanez in the neighborhood. Big Boy neighborhood, y'all.